Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered if your old pennies might be worth more than their face value? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most sought-after pennies in the world, the 1963 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This little coin is a hidden gem that could be sitting in your collection or even in your spare change right now, and it's worth millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. A 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.6 million. So, how did a simple penny from the 1960s become such a big deal? Stick around as we uncover its history, features, errors, and why this penny is so valuable. Let's kick things off by taking a trip back in time to 1963. The United States was in the midst of the post-World War II boom. The nation was growing, technology was advancing, and the penny had already been a staple of American currency for over 100 years by this time. But 1963 wasn't just another ordinary year for the Lincoln penny. It marked a key turning point in the coin's history. Now, before we get into the specifics of the 1963 penny, let's talk about Abraham Lincoln himself. He's been featured on the penny since 1909, honoring the 16th President of the United States. The coin was first designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it's been a favorite of collectors ever since. But in 1963, something unusual happened with the Lincoln penny, and that's where our story takes an exciting twist. Normally, if you look at a coin, you'll see a small letter near the date. That letter tells you which U.S. mint produced the coin, or P for Philadelphia, if there's no mint mark. But the 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is missing this crucial detail. You see, in 1963, most pennies were minted in Denver and Philadelphia. However, a small number of these pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark at all. You might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, missing mint marks on a penny are extremely rare. In most years, the mint mark is present, making these no-mint mark coins much more special and valuable to collectors. Alright, let's talk about how to identify the 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you have a penny from 1963 and want to know if it's the one that's worth big bucks, here's what to look for. There should be no mint mark next to the date, even though it's from a year when mint marks were usually included. The design on the obverse front shows Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the inscription, "In God We Trust," above and "Liberty" to the left. On the reverse back, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, with E Pluribus Unum inscribed along the top. Check for any wear or damage. Unlike other common coins, a well-preserved 1963 no-mint Mark penny can fetch a much higher price than a worn-out one. In fact, the condition, or grade, of the coin plays a huge role in how much it's worth. Now you're probably asking, why is the 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth millions of dollars? Let's break it down. First, rarity plays a huge role. Coins without mint marks are hard to find, and the 1963 no-mint Mark penny is one of those rare anomalies in coin production. While the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of pennies that year, only a small number were made without the mint mark. Second, historical significance adds to its value. It's not just a regular penny, it's a piece of American history. The error in the minting process creates a story behind the coin, making it even more desirable to collectors. And third, demand among collectors drives the value up. Coin enthusiasts, investors, and numismatists are always on the lookout for rare and unique pieces. As time goes on, these types of coins tend to become even more valuable. So, how much could you make by selling one of these rare pennies? Well, depending on its condition, a 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth anywhere from $100,000 to $1.6 million. That's a huge return on a simple coin you might have found lying around in your drawer. If you're lucky enough to have one of these valuable coins, you'll want to know where to sell it. The best place to get top dollar for your 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is through a professional coin dealer or an auction house. They can help authenticate your coin and get it into the hands of serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. You can also check online marketplaces. But always be cautious and do your research to avoid scams. And there you have it, folks. The 1963 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a simple coin with a fascinating history and a huge potential payout. So, the next time you're looking through your pocket change or going through your coin collection, keep an eye out for this elusive penny. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more valuable coin insights. Who knows what other hidden treasures might be sitting in your collection right now? Keep collecting, and remember, the next big find could be just around the corner. 1970 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. Yes, you heard that right. If you've got a 1970 D penny, stick around to learn why that little coin might just be your ticket to a fortune. Let's rewind a little bit and take a quick look at the history of the iconic Lincoln penny. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency ever since. Its design features Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the famous wheat ears on the reverse were standard until 1958. After that, the reverse design changed to the Memorial Building, which you'll see on your 1970 D penny. Now, in 1970, the U.S. Mint was ramping up production of coins, with millions of pennies being struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark on the coin. But little did they know, they were making something rare and highly valuable. This penny, though mass-produced, would eventually become one of the most sought-after coins in numismatic history. So, what makes the 1970 D Lincoln penny stand out? Well, let's take a closer look. On the obverse, you'll find President Abraham Lincoln's portrait, facing right. It's a timeless design that's been with us for over a century. On the reverse, you'll see the Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., which became the reverse design for the Lincoln penny in 1959. It's a beautiful tribute to Lincoln's legacy. You'll also notice the words E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one, and 1 cent written in bold letters. But there's more than meets the eye. The 1970 D penny is actually part of a batch of coins that were affected by an error. That's where the real value comes in. But let's hold off on that for just a moment. Here's where things get interesting. In 1970, the U.S. Mint produced pennies with a D Mint mark, indicating they were minted in Denver. These coins were struck with the usual machines, but something unusual happened. Some of the pennies were produced with a double die error. This means that some of the coins have double images of the letters and numbers on them, specifically, the word Liberty and the date 1970. The double die error can be extremely hard to spot, but trust me, it's worth the effort. If you're lucky enough to find a 1970 D Lincoln penny with this double die error, you could be holding something worth up to $1.7 million. That's no exaggeration. These rare coins have been sold at auctions for incredible sums, with the highest quality examples going for sky-high prices. So, how do you know if your 1970 D penny is the one worth millions? It's all about the details. The double die error typically shows up as a slightly doubled image on the Liberty inscription and the date 1970. Examine the letters. Look carefully at the word Liberty on the obverse. If you see a slight doubling of the letters, especially the B or R, you might have a winner. Check the date. The 1970 on the coin should also have a slight doubling. The numbers will appear thicker or might seem like they've been stamped twice. If you're still unsure, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to really get a close-up look. And don't forget to check both sides of the coin. The reverse is important too. You might be wondering, why are these pennies worth millions? The simple answer is rarity and demand. Coins with errors, especially double die errors, are extremely rare. While millions of pennies were minted in 1970, only a tiny fraction of them were struck with this unique flaw. As a result, these coins have become highly prized by collectors and numismatists. The high value of the 1970 D double die penny is also due to its historical significance and the limited number of coins available in top condition. Pennies that are well preserved or in mint condition can fetch the highest prices at auction. If you think you've found a 1970 D Lincoln penny with the double die error, congratulations! But don't just run to the nearest pawn shop to cash it in. First, have it professionally appraised by a numismatist or a reputable coin dealer. This way, you can confirm that it's the real deal and ensure you get the best value. If your coin is in great shape, you could be looking at an investment that only increases in value over time. Some collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare pieces, so don't let it slip through your fingers. So, the next time you're digging through your pocket change or searching through your old coins, take a closer look at those 1970 pennies. You might just be holding a $1.7 million treasure. And remember, a little knowledge and careful inspection can go a long way in the world of rare coin collecting. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on rare coins. Who knows? You might even have some rare pennies hiding in your collection. 1984 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth a small fortune. Stick around to find out why this unassuming penny has earned its place as one of the most coveted coins among collectors and investors alike. Let's start by taking a look at the 1984 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was struck from 1959 until 2008. The reverse features a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic symbol of American history, while the obverse features the beloved portrait of President Abraham Lincoln himself. The 1984 penny, in particular, is important because it was part of a unique era for U.S. coinage. During this time, pennies were still being minted with the classic copper composition, which gave them their familiar weight and look. However, the true value of this penny lies in the absence of the mint mark. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver are stamped with a D, and those from San Francisco with an S. But here's where things get interesting. While the 1984 penny is widely known for being minted in both Denver and Philadelphia, certain pennies from Philadelphia were struck without any mint mark at all. The absence of a mint mark on the 1984 Lincoln penny was not a deliberate design feature. Rather, it was an error. These no mint mark pennies were likely struck during a period of transition or when there was some confusion in the minting process. While this might seem like a small mistake, it's one that collectors absolutely love. Errors like these are often seen as rarities, and in the world of numismatics, rarities are king. So, what makes the 1984 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny worth so much money? It all boils down to rarity and demand. While the 1984 pennies with mint marks are fairly common, those that are missing the mint mark are incredibly rare. A small number of these errors were struck, and finding one in good condition is even more challenging. The combination of its rarity, historical context, and unique error makes this coin a treasure. In terms of value, the 1984 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny can fetch thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. However, in pristine, uncirculated grades, these pennies can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. But, in exceptional cases where the coin is in mint condition and has been verified by trusted grading services, the value can reach a staggering $10,000 or more. When it comes to evaluating your 1984 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, the condition is everything. A penny in mint state, meaning it's practically flawless, will naturally be worth more than one with visible wear or damage. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the higher the value. If you happen to stumble upon one of these rare pennies, it's essential to get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. The grading process can significantly impact the coin's value. Even a slight increase in grade can make a huge difference in the selling price. Aside from the condition and the rarity of the minting error, other factors can influence the value of the 1984 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. For example, if the coin has been part of a famous collection or has a noteworthy provenance, its value could be higher. Additionally, market demand plays a big role. As the coin world continues to grow and more collectors show interest in these rarities, the value could rise even further. Now that you know the fascinating story behind the 1984 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, you can see why it's worth so much more than just 1 cent. From its historical significance to the rare minting error, it's no wonder collectors are willing to pay top dollar for this little piece of American history. If you happen to have one of these pennies lying around in your collection, or in a jar of spare change, it might just be worth taking a closer look. And remember, always get your coins professionally graded before selling or buying. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more coin discoveries, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or any other valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. 1992 Lincoln penny in your pocket change before, but did you know this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth thousands of dollars? Stick around to find out why. To kick things off, let's take a look at the history of the 1992 Lincoln penny. The penny, of course, features the image of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most beloved presidents. The design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and has been in use since 1909, marking Lincoln's 100th birthday. Fast forward to 1992, and the U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies with the familiar obverse, front, design of Lincoln's portrait and the reverse, back, with the iconic memorial building. But what makes the 1992 D penny so special? First, let's talk about the mint mark. You'll notice the D on the 1992 D penny. This tells us that the penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is one of the primary facilities for producing coins. While most pennies from this era look pretty similar at first glance, it's the rarity and the quality of certain coins that can make them incredibly valuable. The 1992 D penny features the classic copper-plated zinc composition, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter. But when we start talking about errors and variations, that's when things get interesting. Now, here's where it gets exciting. While most 1992 D pennies are not worth much beyond their face value, there's a specific error that has made certain ones worth millions. You see, some 1992 D pennies were struck with a double die obverse. This means that the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front of the coin was struck twice, causing a blurry or ghost-like effect on his features. This double die error is a rare occurrence, and it significantly increases the value of the coin. It's tough to spot unless you're looking closely, but if you find a 1992 D penny with that distinctive doubling, it could be worth anywhere from hundreds to even thousands of dollars depending on the quality of the strike. So, how much could this little penny be worth? Let's break it down. A regular, uncirculated 1992 D Lincoln penny is generally worth around 1 to 2 cents, which is what you'd expect from most coins. But if you've got a 1992 D penny with that rare double die obverse error, now we're talking. These coins can fetch anywhere between $100 to $500 in decent condition. But hold on to your seat, because in pristine condition, one of these could sell for thousands of dollars. In fact, some rare examples of the 1992 D double die penny have been known to hit the market for up to $10,000 or more. Yes, you heard that right. $10,000 for a coin that's only worth 1 cent if it's in mint condition. Cut to a graphic showing the rarity and demand for certain errors in coin collecting. So, why is a coin like this worth so much? Well, rarity plays a big part. There are thousands of 1992 D pennies out there, but only a small number have the double die error. And, like any rare collectible, demand drives the price up. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for these types of anomalies because they're a piece of history, a true example of the imperfection that makes coins so fascinating. Additionally, condition is key. The more pristine the coin, the higher the value. A 1992 D penny in gem quality condition, with sharp details and no wear, will always be more valuable than a well-worn one. Cut to a tutorial showing how to spot the double die error with a magnifying glass. Now, you might be wondering, how do I spot one of these rare, valuable 1992 D double die pennies? Great question. Here's how to check. Examine the details on Lincoln's face. Look closely at the eyes, the lips, and the chin. You should see some faint doubling, almost like a blurry shadow of the main features. Check the date. The numbers. 1992 should have a noticeable, doubled effect as well. The most prominent doubling happens on the date, so pay close attention to that. Inspect the lettering. The words Liberty and In God We Trust might also show signs of doubling. If you spot these characteristics, you could have a real treasure on your hands. So, there you have it. The 1992 D Lincoln penny, one that could be sitting in your coin jar right now, worth more than just a penny. With its fascinating history, potential errors, and value that can reach into the thousands, it's no wonder collectors are so eager to find one of these. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more rare coin content. Like this video if you found it helpful, and comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny of your own. We'd love to hear about your discoveries. 2005 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of those rare coins that could make you a small fortune. But how do you know if your penny is the one worth the big bucks? Stick around, and we'll dive into the fascinating history and details of this valuable coin and why it might be worth a lot more than you think. Let's start by looking back at the history of the 2005 Lincoln penny. The penny was originally issued in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person on the obverse. Fast forward nearly 100 years to 2005, and we saw a special release of the Lincoln penny to mark his 200th birthday. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released a series of 4 new designs, one for each year of Lincoln's life. The designs honored Lincoln's early life, his time as a young man, and his presidency. But here's where things get interesting. While most of the 2005 pennies were minted in the usual locations, something unusual happened with some of them. They were minted without a mint mark. And that's where the mystery and value come in. Let's take a closer look at the features of the 2005 Lincoln penny. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, as it has been since the penny's inception. In 2005, however, the design was reimagined to highlight different stages of Lincoln's life. On the reverse, the 2005 pennies featured 4 different designs, one for each stage of Lincoln's life. A log cabin represents Lincoln's humble beginnings in a log cabin in Kentucky. A scene with Lincoln reading a book by candlelight. A scene depicting Lincoln as a young lawyer. The final design shows Lincoln delivering the Gettysburg Address. But here's the thing. Some 2005 pennies, particularly those without a mint mark, are incredibly rare. Most coins are stamped with a mint mark to indicate where they were produced, but this specific coin was released without one, causing a stir among collectors. Now, you might be asking, what's so special about a penny with no mint mark? Well, the mint mark on a coin tells us where it was made. For most coins, a mint mark is found under the year on the obverse side, just below Lincoln's shoulder. For example, if a coin was minted in Denver, it will have a D mint mark, and if it was made in Philadelphia, it would have a P. But in 2005, there was an anomaly with the Philadelphia Mint. For some reason, a limited number of pennies were released without a mint mark at all. These no mint mark coins were actually the result of an error. They were supposed to be stamped with a P for Philadelphia, but the stamp didn't appear on some of them. This is what makes the 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable. You might be wondering, how much is my 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth? Well, that depends on its condition and whether it's been authenticated. In general, these coins can be worth anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if they are in excellent condition. But, and here's where it gets exciting, if you have a 2005 no mint mark penny in mint state, meaning it's in near perfect condition, it could fetch $5,000 or more at auction. Now, here's the key: the rarer the coin, the higher its value. A penny with no mint mark in excellent or uncirculated condition is a hot commodity for collectors, especially because it's a unique mistake that's hard to find in everyday change. So why does this penny, with its simple appearance, command such a high price? Well, there are a few factors at play here. First, this era coin is extremely rare. Only a small number of the 2005 pennies were struck without the mint mark, making them a highly sought-after find for collectors. The rarity of the coin combined with the fact that it is a mistake, and era coins are highly prized, drives its value up. Second, era coins like this one are fascinating to collectors because they provide a glimpse into the history of coin production. Errors are often produced due to machine malfunctions or human mistakes, and finding a coin like this one is like discovering a piece of history that was never meant to be. Finally, The fact that the 2005 Lincoln penny is part of a special series that honors Lincoln's legacy makes it even more desirable. This adds a layer of historical significance to the coin, which collectors are always eager to have in their collection. So, how can you tell if your 2005 penny is one of these rare, valuable coins? This is the key feature. If your penny doesn't have a P or D under the year, it could be the one. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it will be. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition will be worth significantly more than if you think you have a valuable penny. It's always a good idea to have it authenticated by a professional coin grading service to ensure its value. So there you have it. The 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare and valuable treasure that could be worth thousands of dollars, all depending on its condition and authenticity. If you've got one of these rare pennies in your collection, or if you're just starting to hunt for valuable coins, remember that every coin tells a story. The next time you dig through your change jar, keep an eye out for these gems. They might just be worth a small fortune. 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, when you think of Lincoln pennies, you probably picture the familiar P or D mint marks. But what if I told you that a rare 2016 Lincoln penny without any mint mark could be worth a small fortune? In this video, we'll break down the history, the unique features of this coin, why it's so valuable, and how you can spot it in your own collection. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one, especially if you love the idea of turning a small coin into big money. So, let's get started. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency for over a century. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then, these coins have undergone a few design changes. Fast forward to 2016, and the Lincoln penny was still one of the most widely circulated coins in the U.S. Mint's production. In 2016, the U.S. Mint issued the 2016 Lincoln penny with a notable tribute to Abraham Lincoln's 160th anniversary of his birth. This penny featured the traditional Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which has been in place since 1959. The obverse, as always, featured the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most 2016 pennies were minted with a D mint mark for Denver or a P mint mark for Philadelphia. But there was a mysterious variation, a 2016 penny with an O mint mark at all. That's right, a coin from 2016 that has absolutely no mint mark, and this rarity makes it incredibly valuable. Let's break down what makes this coin stand out from the crowd. First off, the 2016 no mint mark penny has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a weight of 2.5 grams. It's made from a copper-plated zinc composition, which gives it that familiar shiny finish. On the obverse, you'll see Abraham Lincoln's profile, facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust," above his image, and "Liberty," to the left. Below Lincoln, you'll find the 2016 year, the only indication of its production date. The reverse, or back side, features the Lincoln Memorial, with E Pluribus Unum above and United States of America and 1 cent inscribed around the bottom. It's a beautiful, classic design that hasn't changed much over the years. So, what sets this coin apart from the standard 2016 pennies you'll find in circulation? The absence of a mint mark is the key distinguishing factor. But why does this matter so much? Let's dive into that. Why does this error make the coin so valuable? The answer lies in the very nature of the minting process. Typically, the mint mark on a coin indicates where it was produced. Philadelphia, where coins are minted without a mint mark, and Denver are the primary locations for U.S. coin production. However, due to a mistake during the minting process, a batch of 2016 pennies was released without any mint mark at all. This type of error is extremely rare, and when it's spotted, it can send collectors into a frenzy. While some might think that mint marks don't really matter, they actually play a huge role in determining the rarity of a coin. The 2016 no mint mark penny is a perfect example of how even a small error can make a coin worth thousands, or even millions, over time. Now, onto the part you've been waiting for. How much is this rare penny worth? The The value of the 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. If you have one in near mint or mint condition, you could see values ranging from $500 to $1,000 or more. But why such a steep price for a coin worth only 1 cent when it was originally minted? Well, as is the case with most rare coins, it all comes down to rarity and demand. Since there are only a limited number of these rare coins out there, collectors are willing to pay a premium for the chance to own one. And if you happen to find one that's in perfect condition with no wear and tear, the value could rise even further, potentially even reaching $10,000 or more in the right market. Imagine holding on to a penny that could be worth 10,000 times its original value. That's what makes rare coins so appealing. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare 2016 pennies? It's pretty simple. Look for the absence of a mint mark. Check the spot just below the year 2016 on the obverse. If there's no mint mark, you've got a potential treasure. Coins in mint condition are the most valuable, so look for one with little to no wear and tear. This will ensure it holds its maximum value. If you're unsure about its authenticity, you might want to get the coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. This will help determine its true value and increase its appeal to potential buyers. So, why is this penny worth millions? Or at least potentially so. In the world of coin collecting, it's the rarity and condition that drive value. When something as common as a penny goes missing its mint mark due to an error, collectors jump at the chance to own a piece of history. These errors are extremely rare, and as demand grows, so does the price. A simple error like this is what makes the coin highly desirable. Plus, the 2016 no mint mark penny is part of a series that holds historical significance, being the 160th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Combine rarity with historical importance, and you've got a coin that could very well be worth millions down the line. And there you have it. The 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is an incredible piece of U.S. coinage, with a fascinating history and the potential to become a high-value collector's item. If you find one in your collection, be sure to check it carefully, because it might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and comment below. Do you have any rare coins in your collection? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And as always, happy collecting!